I'm starting the process of counting out my second half of my Manticore finds. So I've got my bag, my gloves. I use my old gloves, fill those up with coins. I've got that one and this one, right? Those are this year's, the second half of my Manticore finds. And then we are going to finish doing the video of this, and then we're gonna tumble that. That's the guesswork right there. How much money is in that bucket there, that tub? That was in my previous video, or past videos actually. And I'll tumble that, get the total dollar amount on that, which means I got to do another one of these type of things. Count it all out. That's gonna suck, but gonna do it. And then I'll figure out. Well, right now I'm gonna count this out, and we'll figure out how much I got this last year with the second half of the Manticore, and yeah, be done with it. And then I'll tumble it all, and I'll subtract this from that tub. All right, get busy. It's gonna take a long time. This sucks. All right, well, here it is. My second 6 months with the Manticore. First 6 months are here. This is my clad for my first 6 months, my silver for my first 6 months. I'll put the video link to that in the bottom description. But this is my second half, and I didn't count out the pennies exactly, but each pile has roughly 15 pennies in each pile. So it's not exact, but it's really close. Obviously, I've got everything stacked off over here in in their own groups. The quarters are in dollars, the dimes are in dollars, nickels are in 25 stacks of 25. So my grand total, you want to take a guess? Just looking at everything here. So this is 6 months worth of finds right here. 6 months of the better stuff I found. Comes out to be about $120 and like maybe 35 cents. A little bit more, maybe. But $120 in the 6 months. So these are the better things. I'll start with some of these crappy things here. We've got some buttons, brooches, buckles, an old stopwatch. Some odds and ends. Kind of some old stuff. I don't know what that is. Almost looks like maybe a luggage tag or something, and I think an old part of an old maybe dog tag, a cosmetic case. Old Boy Scout Bobcat guys. These are all the wheat pennies. Stacks of 5. And let's see, we got a token and a pendant. I don't know what this is, but I believe that this is going to be a token also. It's a little bit bigger than a quarter, but it's a little thinner than a quarter. And I can't get any writing off of it. Then we've got a coin here. It looks, it has some Asian writing on it. I don't know. The other side does not come out very good at all, so I couldn't get anything off of that. And I think this is an aluminum ring and some silver foreign coin and a silver earring and a 925er and some silver jewelry. And my oldest coins I've ever found. Found Pennsylvania, I think 18. I can't remember the exact date. Like 1874 and 1794 and 18 something, and this guy here 1879. And it's a first find for me. It's I can't remember exactly what it was now. It's like I think it's a 1913 nickel, Canadian nickel, part silver, and a couple foreign silver coins. Only one barber, this last 6 months. But yeah, got some good stuff there. And all the silver. So I didn't count my silver counts, but I'll put that probably on my screen for the year. But yeah, 6 months with the Manticore, second 6 months with the Manticore. So now that I've got this dollar amount, well, minus the clad, I can't remember what that was exactly. I think it's about $112 in clad, but I'll recount it again before I mix it in with my tumbler and get the count that I had previously on my first 6 months, so that I get a better exact count on how much is in that little tub guy right there. So anyways, thanks for watching. This is the clean out for the Manticore. So you're probably wondering my opinion on the Manticore. Well, it's not bad. You know, I struggled with it, definitely struggled with it for the first, seems like for the first 4 months, I just like hated the Manticore. I just hated it. It does take time, in my opinion, coming from like the E-trac or some other machine that may not be similar to the Manticore. It was a very big struggle coming from the E-trac. Now, Hap came from the Equinox 800, and he struggles with it. I think he still likes the Equinox 800. I believe he thinks it's more stable, and it's possible that it is. Since I don't have any time on the Equinox, for those of you who went from the Equinox to the Manticore, what's your opinion? I know a lot of you out there have gone from both, switched over from both. Do you like the Manticore or do you like the Equinox? Like I said, I just don't have a professional opinion on it because I don't have any time on the Equinox. I wish I had gone from the Equinox to the Manticore to have an honest opinion. But yeah, 1 year recommendation is I think the Manticore is a very solid detector. I don't think it's worth the $1,600 price point. I don't believe that it's from going from the technology of the E-trac to the Manticore, in my opinion, because I'm not a technician or anything like that, it should be better. The technology should be better, but I know that we're limited. The people who do make the detectors are limited by regulations. So unfortunately, they're only can do so much. There's only a certain frequency that they can send out. There's only so much power they can actually emit. So I wish it was better technology-wise, but we gotta live with what we gotta live. That said, there are things that they do to make them better. I guess there are different headphones. I think the ones that I use, the ones that came with it, I think they're the ML105s. I'm not 100% sure. And Hap says that I think it's the ML85s are better. So if you've ever tested those on the headphones, hey, leave me a comment. I'd like to find out what your opinion is on that. They do come out with some smaller coils, but I think they still need to come out with even a smaller coil than what they have. Okay, enough talking, and yeah. So now I'm going to be able to take all this clad and I'm going to dump it all in here. Just keep the pennies separated out because the pennies, I'll tumble those separately. And then we've got the silver, and I'll just add all of it in there. I don't really clean it. I mean, I do, sometimes I'll put it in some water just to give it a little clean. For example, this guy, I put in a little bit of water before I put it out here because it was pretty bad shape. I mean, but yeah, it's a Merc dime, and it does not clean up very well. So it might have been in a fire or something got stuck to it pretty good. And then we've got this guy. That's a pretty tarnished silver, and this one. But yeah, silver doesn't always come out perfectly shiny, especially if it's been in a fire. So, hey, again, as always, thanks for watching. Just gonna keep going at it. I'm kind of running, well, not running. I'm kind of getting, like I said, I'm getting ready to pull the trailer out of this barn and hit the road for a couple months. And I've asked if you guys have any idea about metal detecting, like Utah. I'm not gonna have a lot of time, so I will be back in Oregon, and I will be detecting in and around some coastal small towns and such when we get back. But life is a never-ending change of problems and things to solve. So yeah, part of the reason why I'm in a barn, my trailer, is just basically helping out our parents, actually both our parents. So we're kind of here helping out as much as we can, but we are going to take a break away and get on the road a little bit, and then we'll be back in Oregon. So thanks again for watching, and thanks again for watching all my videos. Yeah, please go back and watch some of my previous videos. So like you said, you know, if you're watching mine for the first time or so, you know, go back and watch this is all wheat pennies and silver for my first 6 months. Go back and watch some of my videos, and again, thanks. All right, well, I noticed in my first 6 month video with the Manticore, I did not have a clad total. So I counted the silver in my pitcher, and I counted the wheat pennies in my pitcher. And so I'll get that total onto this. But so here are stacks. They're about, I didn't count actually each one of these. I counted a few of these stacks to make sure that there were 20. This is roughly about 20 Memorial Lincoln pennies in each stack. So I am going to count these, add it to my total, and then I'll count those, and then we'll get a total of my first 6 months clad, silver, and then my second month's silver and clad also. All right, so that's a lot of pennies. I remember complaining, and maybe if you watch any of my videos in the first 6 months of with the Manticore, I complained a lot about getting memorial pennies and the dimes, and I was really frustrated. I dig a lot of these, and I was really frustrated because I'm digging more pennies than there were dimes, and I didn't like that ratio. I'm okay with a 50-50, you know, but I definitely don't want to see like 2-to-1, 2-to-1 memorials. So anyways, that's the pennies, and I'm going to do the clad. Wow, that is a lot of money for my first 6 months of Manticore, and that doesn't even count the wheat pennies, which are in the video. So I'm going to try and get that video linked in the description below. So my first 6 months video, look down in the comments below down there in the more section, and you'll see the link to the first 6 months. But I didn't count the first 6 months. I think I was in a hurry to get that video out, and but definitely a lot more money here, I think, than my second 6 months. Now, remind you, Quater Park in Pennsylvania, I hit Quater Park a lot. And if you go back to prior to my first 6 months, you can see all of those videos. But Quater Park, I think in two hunts, like even back-to-back days, I think I walked away from that place with $20 in quarters like one day and 20 some dollars the next day. And that's why I called it Quarter Park. So about $40 of this came easily out of 2 days of hunting. 2 days. There's a lot here. That's all quarters, dimes, there's half dollars, dollar, and then nickels down here. So I'm going to total that up, and that'll be on the screen. So I'll have a first 6 months, and then my second 6 months, and then the grand total. But that's a lot of digging for my first 6 months. That's a lot of digging. Oh.